living the high life in your semi-mansion over there.
Oh yeah. No, my staff occupies a smaller house.
You
What's going on
did
with
it
you?
wrong. You're living in the guest house, and you have your staff living in the regular house.
Exactly. Well, that rich kid that came over thought we were in the guest house. Um, is it just us tonight?
Bry is joining late.
So we will not be hearing from Bry.
Probably not.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Um,
All right, so this was our organic opening.
Oh God, I don't like this. You want to start the show?
Yeah. I'm going to play the...
Are we really recording already, or should we just go with the organic opening?
I was recording, but I'll play the song.
Fine. No. We'll go with our organic opening. We don't need to get excited for the show. Let's just start the show.
Hello, baby. Hello, nasty. Hello there. Hello. I say hello. Hello, friend. Well, hello, little girl. Hello, my treacherous friends. Hello, operator. The beginning of everything. Welcome back, my friends. It's showtime.
Hey, everybody, it's episode 244 of the Brink of Sanity podcast. I am Jay, and with me is Mark.
Yes. There was a show. Do you ever watch Parenthood?
I've seen one episode.
It's honestly, it really probably doesn't appeal to people if you're not either a woman or have a family. And really, it's just a woman's show, but I watched it anyway.
I just watched it because the guy from 6 Feet Under's in it.
Yeah. But anyway, the show used to be, and I'm not going to talk much about the show, but the show would start with their organic opening you're talking about. It would go on. It'd be like 20 minutes into the story, and then they do the opening credits. And you'd be like, what the fuck? Why is the opening credits? Like, either do opening credits at the opening, they'd have like 20 minutes of plot before they do it.
What's
If anyone, there's probably not a chance that any of our listeners watch that show, but if there's any crossover, you know what I'm talking about.
Didn't that show end like 5 years ago?
I don't know. The grandfather, the patriarch of the family, dies at the end of the show. I'm ruining it so you don't have to watch it. I imagine for you, Jay, you get home from work. What time did you get home tonight?
I get home at 6:30.
You got home at 6:30, and you're waiting for me to do the show. And we do 8:30 because I'm waiting for my kids to get down. I imagine a lot of your what you've been doing since 6:30 is la-di-da-di, eat some food, watch some shows, wait for Mark, drink a beer, wait for Mark, la-di-da-di, hanging out. I, on the other hand, and I don't know if I nailed your night so far, but I probably did. It's like you're doing that, and I just have crazy midgets running around, being insane, trying to kill themselves constantly. I deal with like basically trying to like calm down a tornado right before the show starts.
So you're saying you're tired?
I'm just saying I don't even know. It's just funny because I'm like, Jay, I need 5 more minutes because I don't want to dial 911. I don't know.
Well, I had a 2.5 hour show planned tonight, so
it's not even. Let's go for 2.5 hours. I could talk about. There's no way we have 2.5 hours about topics. So I'm pretty sure we're not going 2.5 hours. But it's just we put my daughter in a bed tonight. Not that anyone gives a crap. And she just basically we leave the room. So besides the fact that we have just the insanity of trying to get the kids down is like crazy every night. We're putting her in bed for the first time. Every 5 seconds we leave the room, I want water, I want this. And you don't go in there, she screams her head off. And I don't know what to do.
That didn't happen in the crib?
Maybe we can have a random, like each week, a lucky listener of the Brink Show can come and put my kids to bed.
Wait, that didn't happen in the crib?
What? Oh, it happened in the crib also. It was just worse tonight because the first time you sleep in a bed, you don't really know how to sleep in a bed. So she's like, I don't know where to lie. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. And you're like, just lay down and go to sleep. There's not that much of a difference.
It's the same goddamn thing.
Oh. And she also, I think I mentioned before, you probably didn't fail to grasp how often my daughter asks for water. She drinks maybe a gallon of water every night because that's her way of getting us back in the room. And if you don't have the right water bottles, she screams, I want the Elsa water. I'm like, I don't know where the Elsa water is. And then we go through like a hostage situation where I need to find the Elsa water before or else she won't go back to sleep.
Shot of whiskey.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's pure chaos. And how are you doing? Jay, let me ask you. Since last show, have you had any kids, maybe a 3 or 4-year-old, and let that kid go into a gorilla cage?
No, I have not done that.
Okay, good. So you're not supposed to. For all those parents out there, if you have a 4-year-old, do not let them go in a gorilla cage.
I think that's good advice. Yeah.
It is. I don't know why they don't tell you that at the doctor when you give birth. They should say, like, generally between the ages of 0 and 97 years old, you should never go in a gorilla cage. Just want to let you know these things in case your parents are complete morons.
I'm blaming the zoo.
I'm blaming the zoo completely. I don't understand. Tell me what you're saying.
Well, the zoo only had 3 fences and 17 signs. What is a parent to do?
So you're not really blaming the zoo. A 4-year-old got into the gorilla cage, which means no matter what safety regulations you followed, a 4-year-old broke through your safety regulations.
You have kids. Shouldn't you know that your 4-year-old can get into anything in your house?
Here's the unexplored part of the story.
In fact, I don't know. When people have heists at, like, when they're stealing paintings at museums, they should just get a 4-year-old to do it.
That's probably true. Here's the unexplored part of the story, which no one is talking about. So, Jay, do you think you're more, say, physically adept than a 4-year-old?
Barely. I went running for the first time since I graduated, and I am out of shape.
How far did you run?
1 mile.
Are you sure, like, you didn't, like, just, like... How do you run? What, you ran 1 mile?
Yeah. It was a mile walk to the... I went to a track, so it was a mile walk to the track. I ran a mile and a mile walk back.
Okay, at least you covered 3 miles.
Yes.
So you did 4 laps?
Yes.
Were you like, gotta make the time, gotta get to 8 minutes so I don't have to, whatever, so I can pass the gym test?
Yeah, I don't even know if I made 8 minutes. It was bad. I mean, I couldn't really exercise like the whole time I was in grad school. This was bad news.
Do you think like some past society, like 12th century man somehow gets into a time machine, comes to our time and goes, what do you mean you like exercise for fun? I run so I could get food and not die today.
I mean, they're probably 5 inches shorter, but also like all muscle.
That's true. It is weird though how we evolve where like we have physical activity that has become not just like what you do because you're alive and you need to eat. Now it's like I've got to add physical activity to my life because we've got to a point in society where we can just sit around all day and become fat.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't help that everything is like a million calories.
No, but like back if you took someone from like, again, the 12th century, it'd be like, wait a second, a Burger King burger's 1,200 calories for $2? Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, maybe they'd want the calories. I don't know.
It's yeah, they would think it's like this incredible thing. How did you pack 38 grams of fat into one fry? How do you do it? That's incredible. Yeah. So, what was I talking about? The zoo.
You're talking about stealing things.
Here's the part that's unexplored. If a 4-year-old, so you could probably anything a 4-year-old could do, you probably could do as well as far as climbing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you can do it, you know who'd be even better climber than you are? Give up.
A lot of, yeah.
A 1-ton gorilla that could kill us all. The monster that was in the cage would probably get out anytime he wants. If the 4-year-old can get in, the monster can get out.
Yeah, you're calling it a monster, but it was trying to protect the kid when it got shot.
Yeah, you know what? If it wasn't in the cage and it was near your house, you'd call it a monster too.
I'd give it some peanuts.
It's a nice monster. Okay, it's a monster.
I'd take out my brush that I use for my cat, and I'd start brushing it.
Oh, you big monster! Oh, you big monster! Don't brush me! Whatever you want to call it, it's an actual monster. It's a literal monster. It's I don't care if it's nice.
It's
This
not
is
like
what a
King
monster.
Kong in there.
What do you say?
It's not like it's King Kong in there.
Have you seen how big these guys are?
It's 400 pounds.
It's more. That was bigger than 400 pounds. That thing could climb. It literally could probably climb the Empire State Building. It could throw like a car off the Empire State Building.
It doesn't have superpowers.
Monkeys in general are a lot stronger. They have like these different kind of muscle fibers.
That thing could probably just lift up Manhattan and throw it like extreme frisbee.
A monkey could tear your head right off.
Well, that it could, yeah.
Yeah, so that's superpowers.
When we first started the show, we covered that story with the lady who had a monkey next door and it ripped off her friend's face. You remember that?
Yeah, that's a monster. I have not met anyone. You know what? There are people out there that are evil people, but they don't rip faces off with their bare hands. The people that do that are not people; they're monsters. That gorilla can rip your entire. He could have grabbed your legs and your head and just separated your body in one swoop.
They should put that lady in monster movies.
What lady?
Who got her face ripped off?
They probably should.
Like, you know, when they look in the mirror and they're doing the hair and there's nothing, and then it pans to the left a little bit and there's somebody behind them. Imagine that lady was behind you.
So there's a character that'd be fucked up. There's a character. You didn't watch Boardwalk Empire, right?
No, I did not. Are you just going to talk about Boardwalk Empire every episode?
every goddamn week. For those following my TV interests, I'm following Boardwalk Empire. There's a character in Boardwalk Empire, this relates, whose half his face has been like blown off in the war. So he wears like a mask on half his face. Mm-hmm. And what the bullshit is, I bet in real life he has his full face. He's not really a disabled person.
Right.
Whereas this woman is really missing her face. And it's just another example of Hollywood taking a fake half-ripped off face person as opposed to a real half-ripped face person.
True.
We should rally around. This is what we should rally around as opposed to saying, oh, God, we have to like pile on the family that like can't watch its four kids.
Did you watch Preacher?
I started watching it. I only watched the first like 10 minutes. I'm going to try going back to it. What the hell is it? What the fuck am I watching?
Yeah, I
saw they had like some like 19. At first, it looked like the opening credits is something that looked like it was. It looks like it was. It looks like I tried to animate a show. Like they just have like planets that are like colored in. It looks ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And then they have something else with some preacher who's this black guy who's preaching who blows up, literally blows up. His blood flies everywhere. And then it goes to another scene with an actual preacher who some kid comes up to him and goes, my daddy's mean. And he's like, hey, you want me to beat up your daddy? But all that leads to, that escalates. It escalates. And things go crazy. And the kid's like, oh, okay. And I don't know what the fuck's going on. I know it's been the first 10 minutes, but I'm already like, I'm not sure I'm interested enough to watch the next 50.
Well, Austin said you need to watch more because you're so wrong right now.
I'm so wrong. This is what happened. This is what happened. What's going on here?
Bry's calling, yeah.
Bry. When you said you were going to join the show really a lot later, you lied. This is early, Bry.
I didn't say a lot later. I said in a little bit.
Oh. Jay made it sound like you were dead.
No, I feel like I'm dying. I might actually die on the show, but...
Bry, what's your take on this? Well, two things. First, do you think Hollywood should have fake people with makeup to show their faces torn off? Or should they hire people who fit their faces have actually been torn off to play those parts?
In the movies?
Yeah, like Boardwalk Empire has a character.
Oh, Boardwalk Empire again.
Oh, yeah. Half his face is torn off. But when we were talking about that monkey woman, that woman who had her face torn off by that monkey.
Oh, yeah.
She should be in Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah.
Isn't that bullshit?
I mean, I think if you get your face torn off in real life, it kind of opens up a door for you to be in movies because there's always a need for people with their faces torn off.
I mean, using someone who just uses makeup to show that his face is torn off is kind of like putting a character in blackface. It's pretty racist. She
should be the new version of like the Wilhelm scream. Like anytime somebody gets shot in the face, it's just her.
Thanks. So, Brian, what's your take on the Cincinnati Zoo? We were talking about that. We know the 4-year-old boy is in the gorilla cage. Who's to blame?
Well, I don't really know who's to blame, but all I have to say about this whole stupid thing is that the people who like to get upset outraged and offended, and everybody's got a cause. Those people need to learn to pick their battles. There's real fucking problems going on in the world. Like, there's no water in California, there's no water in Michigan, and we're worried about a fucking gorilla that got shot. I mean, who really gives a shit?
I saw somebody post today, one gorilla dies, everyone goes crazy. 20,000 cows a day dies, nobody gives a shit.
And
Or
one guy
like-
tweeted last week that more people cared about this gorilla than Trayvon Martin.
I'm pretty sure also the day the gorilla died, probably maybe 500 people in Syria died.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they died as part of some kind of genocide, and no one gives a shit.
Yeah, but some
Yeah.
of those might be terrorists, so it's okay.
Well, do you know how the U.S. government actually, when they use their drones to shoot people from space, do you know how they identify the terrorists?
They're brown.
Everybody who dies.
Yes, this is true. They
Yeah.
declare everyone who's been shot a terrorist.
Yeah.
So there's no non-terrorist casualties.
Yeah.
well,
I'm reading a book about that right now, actually.
Oh, what book?
The Assassination Complex by Jeremy Scahill. As
Oh.
my dog is dying.
Did you read The Way of the Knife?
No.
Was that good?
Yeah, that
Okay.
was good.
Did you read Dirty Wars
No, I don't think I read that one.
or see the movie?
No.
It was a movie?
It was a documentary, kind of basically about the book, but it's all about drones and stuff. I started reading the Assassination Complex a couple weeks ago, but I had to stop because I was kind of.
Hey, before as we're going to talk about, if we're going to talk about books, should we tell? Since we do have listeners, should we say what the book's about?
Yeah, it's called the Assassination Complex. It's about the secret drone wars that are going on.
Way of the
Secret
Knife is
drone.
a similar thing about not just drones, just like the wars that we are waging that we don't acknowledge.
And that's what, the way of the gun?
The Way of the Knife.
Wait,
I've
who
heard
wrote
of
that?
books.
Mark, I can't see from here.
Kaplan?
Yeah, Mark Kaplan.
Yeah, why don't you just give my social security number out while you're at it?
Mark Mazzetti.
Oh, I don't know who that is, but yeah, no. But what Mark said is right about they just basically anybody who dies in a drone strike, they just say is a terrorist until proven otherwise, and that could take like years.
Right, and you know what? If people are shot with drones and they're wiped out, first of all, the people that are probably going to fight for them and try to like get them declared not terrorists were also probably shot with the drone.
Yeah.
And secondly, they're already dead. You're going to fight the United States government to declare them not a terrorist. What's the even point? But how would the United States government know? Not to get too much of a rant, but how would they even know the people they shoot are terrorists when you're supposed to be guilty, innocent until proven guilty? There was no trial. We just said we have some kind of information like, hey, if you weren't a terrorist, what would you be doing in Afghanistan?
I actually had to put the book down because when I got to the section about, and I'm only like 20 pages in, but I got to the section on how they determine the no-fly list, and I literally might be on the no-fly list.
What's the you go on a dumb podcast and like rant against the government?
There's no criteria to be on the podcast. I mean, to be on the podcast. To be on the
There is no
Well, that
criteria.
too. That too.
There's no criteria. It's basically like if somebody in the FBI just has sees your name and has a funny feeling about it, like, oh, you're on the no-fly list, and you don't know you're on it, and you can't get off it, and even if you fought and like appealed and somehow won to get off it, they don't tell you that you're off it.
So
And like it could be as simple as like putting something like terrorist related on Facebook, which I do all the time. So I mean, I might be on the no-fly list.
So you're on a no-fly list if you have a foreign-sounding name, specifically Muslim.
Yeah.
If you've written anything anti-U.S. online, or if you didn't give the FBI agent enough attention in high school, be a girl or a guy, depending on what their interests were.
Basically, it could just be like an FBI or NSA agent who's in a bad mood and just sees a list of names and it's like, "Fuck you, you're all on the no-fly list."
Okay, state of Pennsylvania, you're on the no-fly list. You can't fucking leave Pennsylvania.
And there's no oversight at all. It's
So if the guy who is making the no-fly list is, say, a Thunder fan, he could just put all the Warriors on there.
you people know I'm gonna be I am gonna be going guns a blazing now with the Thunder here.
Oh god, this is not the break. This is not the Knicks podcast. So calm down. Your Kevin Durant hate/love.
I was proven right thanks to my favorite team, the Thunder.
Wouldn't it be amazing though if Steph Curry has to like drive to Cleveland because they're like, oh, Steph Curry, guess which FBI agent's the Cleveland fan?
That would be so funny.
That'd be everyone would be like, that's fucked up, but kind of hilarious, and we shouldn't fix it for a month. So I was saying, Bri,
Yep.
the unexplored part of this story with the boy. First of all, would you agree a 700-pound gorilla that could basically crush you with its bare hands is a monster, not a gorilla? Or it's a gorilla too, but it's a monster.
Sure.
Okay.
I like the conviction there.
Yeah. Okay. So, if a 4-year-old boy could break in, could the monster get out anytime it wants?
Well, I guess
What do you mean,
theoretically.
I guess theoretically, the 4-year-old boy got in. You know who has better climbing ability than a 4-year-old boy? A 700-pound gorilla. That thing can climb. I was just saying before, it can climb the Empire State Building. It can fucking get out of that cage.
We don't know how the boy got in though. Maybe it was a little hole that it like burrowed into.
Well, if there's a hole, there shouldn't be a hole, and there's a hole. The zoo, everyone at the zoo should basically be shot for letting there be a hole there.
Yeah, but I'm saying that a difference. A 4-year-old hole is
No.
not a big monkey hole.
Okay, so being like not being shot, but like if there's a hole and a 4-year-old boy can actually get in there, if there's a hole, basically the people who knew about the hole or have seen the hole or worked at the zoo that day should be in jail. That's absurd. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
you can't have a hole. Bri, if you got a security system, a new like high-end security system for your apartment,
Mhm.
and you came home one day and a 4-year-old boy had robbed your place, would you be pissed?
Yeah, if it was a 4-year-old boy, yeah.
I mean, this is whole like if it was like a 19-year-old kid that was drunk that fucking got in the cage, I would have said, "Fuck that kid." The gorilla should have pounded his ass, or something less gay sounding. But this is absurd. I just think everyone going crazy and like they were not. No one's focusing on the fact that monster can get out anytime it wants and fucking kill everyone at the zoo.
You're really upset about this.
I'm upset that no one's paying attention to how absurd it is that they have a policy at the zoo is of, hey gorilla, please stay in that hole. It's just like, please stay in there. Oh, are you going to make it so the gorilla can't get out? We have the honor system. You know how gorillas are. Okay, I'm done with my rant. But don't you think basically the gorilla was staying there on the honor system?
No.
You think he was really locked in there?
Yeah, I do.
It's a system where a 4-year-old can get in, but a gorilla can't get out.
Yes. I think it was a little hole that they burrowed into.
Who made the hole? The gorilla's going all Shawshank on you.
Gophers.
No, it's the gorilla. He's going all Shawshank.
Yeah, but from what I heard, the gorilla was like born and raised there, so he doesn't. I mean, if he's trained properly, he's not going to know that there's a way out.
You know who was trained properly also? That white tiger that ate those 2 gay dudes that put that show on in Vegas.
Oh, Siegfried and Roy?
Yeah, that white tiger was trained really well also.
Yeah, I mean, you could train it, but it's just like a pit bull. I mean, all those people that, all the white people who own pit bulls are like, oh, pit bulls are great, and then they snap because it's in their brain somewhere, and sometimes it just comes out.
Yeah. No, the gorilla, like, I'm glad it didn't. I mean, thank God it didn't do anything to the boy.
I mean, the gorilla has got no reason. If the zookeepers and all the people at the zoo are treating the gorilla right, he has no reason to snap and kill everyone.
They were
the same reason why he didn't kill the kid.
Yeah, he was protecting the kid.
We're assuming gorillas have the same rule of like logic we do. Maybe the gorilla says, "Oh, it's Tuesday. I don't kill. Good thing it wasn't Wednesday and I wasn't hungry."
Maybe. All I know is I'm so fucking sick of hearing about the gorilla.
Anyway, I'm like, I don't want to go to the zoo because the zoo allows gorillas to walk out anytime they want. Gorillas have open door policy for gorillas. They have a little like doggy dog for like door
That
for
is the
gorillas.
only thing wrong with zoos.
Yeah, the only thing wrong with zoos is that gorillas are allowed to get out anytime they want because they don't put them in real cages. Well,
Every like 3 or 4 years, there's always an incident where like a kid falls in the tiger pit, or the tiger kills somebody, or the
and I know they're animal prisons, but like that's just because all the animals that are there are the ones that are like the criminals.
there are bears all over my my like a 20-mile vicinity of where I live. Like every day, somebody's posting a picture. Oh, there's a bear like just walking through the parking lot. They're all getting shot for no reason.
You live in bear country?
Pretty much.
What part of Connecticut do you live in?
Well, I live like right in the middle, and it's not really that rural. It's like, but
If we see your apartment or your condo, whatever, is it like just on top of a bear cave?
I wish. I would love to have a bear. I'd put him right in the basement.
That's
what I wanted.
That's the 800-pound bear. That's not a metaphor.
That'll be the best. You go on a date, you bring the girl home. You're just like, hey, let's watch some TV in the basement. Oh, don't mind the bear.
Yeah, that's not a rug. That's a real bear.
You should probably take your feet off of him. That's an actual live bear.
Yeah.
Oh, should we bring some leftovers for my bear?
Brian, you're so funny.
You're so funny. And then she gets ripped to shreds.
Now, what were you saying about wanting to see other people?
Do you still have a boat?
Sort of.
But how is that an answer?
Like,
Sort of have
okay,
a boat. What do you mean you sort of have a boat? Either you have a boat or you don't.
Or I guess technically yes.
If in 2 weeks I drove to your place,
Yes.
would we go boating?
I don't know yet. All right, here's what happened. I've had a boat forever, or my dad had one, and he sold it last summer and pissed me off.
Mm-hmm.
Then at the end of the summer last year, my lady friend and I bought a
Lady friend.
personal watercraft,
Lady
like
friend.
a sea-doo boat, like one of those. It's technically a personal watercraft, but it's shaped like a boat, and it's like a little bigger than a jet ski.
What the hell's a personal watercraft? I've never
I
heard
have to
that
look-
term.
That's what they call jet skis.
Personal watercraft.
Google-
It's like a PC way of saying like, oh, this is okay. I just
No, jet skis and those little boats are classified as personal watercraft. That's the way you get when you get a boating
Oh.
license, you have to get that.
fine. You're not making up the word. Okay.
I see. Okay.
All right, so Google Sea-Doo jet boat.
How do you spell Sea-Doo?
SEADOO.
I found Sea-Doo.com.
They might not. They don't make them anymore, so they might not be
it
on
turns
Sea-Doo's
out
website.
for anyone interested, Sea-Doo.com is not a gay porn site.
No.
Go on.
It's a scat site.
Okay, so you bought one of these things?
You may be in possession of one. You may have access to one.
So, anyways, we're in possession
Something
of
sounds a
it,
little
but we went to take it out last
So
weekend.
you stole a Sea-Doo boat.
So
And-
Jay would have to hold on to your waist and like
No, not one of those. Hold on, let me see if I can
What are
find
you
a picture.
talking about then?
I see one with 5 people.
Oh, there are?
Yeah, it's shaped like a boat, not a.
Okay. Anyway.
Anyway, so
you have
we have
why-
one of those, but it doesn't work. I tried to take it out over the weekend, and it doesn't run. So it's hopefully getting fixed.
So you have a broken Sea-Doo boop boop.
Yes.
Sea-Doo boop boop boop.
Yes.
Sea-Doo boop 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 boop. Sea-Doo. How much does the Sea-Doo boop 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 cost?
Well, I bought it on eBay, and it was used. So a couple thousand.
Okay. How does is it someone in your area? Or how do you get this boat?
Yeah. Yeah, it was somebody in Connecticut, so they delivered. It came on a trailer and everything.
Okay. So did it work? Did it work pretty well for a while?
We've never used it because we bought it at the end of last summer, and then it just sort of sat in her garage all winter.
So someone sold you a non-working Sea-Doo boop boop boop.
Well, we didn't even really try to use it. We were just like, we'll deal with it in the spring because it was like, it was September and it was cold, and so.
So you didn't even make sure this thing worked when you got it?
Not really, no.
Okay.
Austin just photoshopped Boardwalk Empire with your face in it. It's really fun.
Oh, thank you, Austin. That's pretty good. I like that. I like that a lot. Thank you, Austin. It's a pretty good show. I'm impressed with the show, and I'm even more impressed with Austin. Thank you, Austin. I really like this.
Post it in the Brink page.
How do I do that?
Save it and post it.
And Austin, can you just save it and do it for us? Did he just?
I'll do it.
Okay, that's awesome. Could you post a picture of my head on top of a sea but Bri, you have a boat that does not work, but hopefully it will work. And if I'm selling you anything, I don't have to worry about selling you a lemon because you'll never check with it until it's like way too late.
Probably, yeah.
Sweet. Do you have is there anything you want to buy right now that I could sell you that's broken?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Great. What else is going on?
I'm officially done with school.
Oh, I thought you meant in general.
I'm done. School's over. Suicide pact, Mark. How was graduation? I saw on Facebook you graduated. You walked and everything.
I did. I walked because people said I would regret it if I didn't.
People are fucking. I've walked at my 2 graduations, or through whatever graduations I've had. I've walked, and I've never like afterwards been like, not that I'm upset I did it, but I'm not like, oh wow, that was a memory.
I actually regret I went.
Why do you regret you went?
It was an absolutely terrible graduation. It was like they've never done a graduation before. It was.
Okay.
Oh, first.
Okay, why don't we reenact? Let's reenact this graduation.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we here at Scam School, we are proud of our graduates. Liberal arts education is good. Go conquer society. You can be president. Donate money.
Way better than what I had.
Here's our speaker, the least famous person or most famous person we could find that would sink themselves to the level of doing this. Here they will tell you about taking all that you can be. Here's Balky from Perfect Strangers. Hey guys, be all you can be. I'm Balky, and everyone could encourage Netflix to redo Perfect Strangers.
That would still be better than what I got. First of all, you have to rewind to actually getting to the graduation because
what was so problem getting it? You were able to get there for 3 freaking years.
No. The graduation was at Barclays. Which has no parking. Which
you don't have a car.
My parents drove in.
Oh.
So that was a problem.
Your parents were excited to see this?
Well, before they knew it was going to be like the worst shit show ever, yeah. So, all right, well, fast forward.
So now we're really proud. We couldn't even find parking.
So we found
your parents called you and they were like, "Hey, Jay, we're in the car still. We can't find parking." Oh, sorry. I guess just keep driving around. We're heading home. Just let us know how graduation was.
I literally thought that was going to happen. They got there at 3 at like 3:50.
They know there's no parking. Why didn't they just come in, like take the train in and go down there?
I'm not sure I think they thought there was parking, and we were going to a restaurant afterwards, which we wouldn't have been able to get to from the subway.
What was the restaurant?
It was.
Wait, Brian, did you just post on the Brink page?
I did.
What did you post?
I just posted on the Brink page too. Mark, focus.
How much are you guys posting while we're talking here?
Because
I'm
a picture
heart to heart with you, and you're posting on the goddamn page.
Because we're able to multitask.
I can't. I get it single task.
You have literally the worst attention span I've ever seen.
Oh, you should see me in life. This is pretty good though.
Does that fit 3 people?
So far, it says 1 person reached on Facebook. This is viral for us.
Brian, does that reach 3 people? Can you fit 3 people in that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the picture of the thing? No, I was looking at the boardwalk picture of myself. This is what you got? Oh, that's not bad. You bringing a lady with you, Bri? I mean, Jay? / your girlfriend?
Well, I was thinking about it, but, just throwing that out there.
Okay.
Wait, what are we talking about?
I can't single task. What were we talking about before?
Oh.
I can't.
Graduation.
Oh, graduation. Yeah.
Hey, Jay still graduated. Okay, let's go. So your parents are like, blah, blah, blah. We've never heard there was no parking in New York City. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so they park, and then what happens?
Then they decide that there's 6,000 graduate students, so they're going to open up 2 doors and run everybody through a metal detector. And they're not going to start doing that until about 3:45.
So who won for you? Was it your parents,
And my sister.
sister, and girlfriend, right?
She was working an overnight, so she couldn't do it.
So she basically said, "I will do any shift, so I don't have to go to Jay's graduation."
And that was a correct decision, yes.
Okay, so they open 2 doors. You guys have to walk single file. and
Right.
you're
So it
like-
was taking so long that they said to the guy taking the portraits,
Jay, wait, Brian, where do you store this?
Mark.
In,
for fuck's sake, Mark.
Jay, I can't focus.
in my girlfriend's garage.
Oh. Yeah, I got a boat in my girlfriend's garage, and that's not a metaphor, and I don't know what a metaphor would even be. You say girlfriend?
Whatever.
Oh, is that the first time he's called her his girlfriend as opposed to his lady friend or his?
I think he said it one other time, and you wouldn't shut up about it for about 10 minutes.
It's all semantics.
Okay, just so you keep the boat in your wife's garage.
Not my wife, no.
Okay, so just you keep it in your wife's garage. I got it. That makes sense.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, fine, whatever. Okay,
Are we back?
We're back.
we were never gone.
Oh, you were gone.
Okay, so single file doors, God forbid. Oh my God, tragedy. Go on.
Well, then they told the person taking everyone's portrait that it's taking too long, so go home. So,
Wait, when you say taking everyone's portrait, you mean the guy taking pictures?
yeah. You know,
Why do you need you need the extra special picture?
isn't that one of the things you do when you graduate? You get a picture of yourself,
That you pay like $100 for?
anyway. So nobody got that.
Just so what? Just everyone carries a camera in their pocket. Just take a picture with your parents can take a picture with their
It's
phone.
part of the bullshit package. Don't focus on the individual shit. Focus on this picture that I am painting you of the shitty graduation. All right, that's just a tiny little piece of it.
You're saying the business school you went to didn't run very well.
Yes, that's what
You
I'm
should
saying.
probably not mention this in future interviews. That the school, I'm just telling you, the school is pretty impressive. They had a graduation, and it was a shit show. And that's the kind of training I have to bring here.
So the graduation was supposed to be from 4 to 5:30, and they had students still finding their seats at 4:50.
So they were 20 minutes late.
50.
I thought, okay.
And then they, I guess they miscounted, so they ran out of seats for the actual graduates. So they had to bring them into the box seats. Then they
Did you guys get to play basketball there or at the Barclays Center?
No, we didn't get to do anything, literally anything.
Was it? Does your diploma say insert name here?
I didn't get the diploma yet, but I'm sure it does.
Congratulations on the honor of graduating. Insert name of degree. Insert name of school.
Yeah, exactly.
Jay, did you write something funny on your hat like all the kids?
No, I did not.
Did you, at the end of it, did you throw your hat in the air and go, "I'm gonna rule the world"?
See you later, suckers.
No, that's what the undergrads were doing. The graduates knew better.
Shouldn't they have just a ceremony with just the graduates?
They should.
So,
They should.
that way it's more like a sarcastic, sadness over the room.
Exactly. So the first speaker started talking about terrorism and all the strife in the Middle East and how it's really important to vote. And it was pretty much just the most depressing speech I've ever heard. I don't know if he knew where he was.
Wait, what happened?
Don't criticize my speech like that.
Wait, who was this?
He was the chancellor of CUNY schools or something like that.
Was he drunk?
Basically, a guy nobody knows who he is. So
Okay.
then the valedictorian...
Hello, my name is Oldie McDuffie. I am here to tell you I'm the Chancellor King Duke Sir Isaac Newton. I am going to make a speech here today that will wow your behind. You should. What was the speech about, Jay? Were you paying attention?
Yeah, it was like I said, it was about terrorism and strife in the Middle East, and then he went on this big rant about how you have to vote because it's really important to make a change.
Did he say who he was voting for?
No, but it stretched that out over like 15 minutes, and that was basically what he did.
And
Graduation speeches are probably the most annoying speeches ever.
So then the valedictorian went on, and he proceeded to just spend 10 minutes talking about all his accomplishments and how great he is. I was like, who gives a shit?
You picked the guy that has the best chance has the best possibilities for a future, and he's going to brag to us. This is wonderful.
Well, he started off saying him and his friend put together a band freshman year, and then realized they didn't know how to play instruments. So I'm like, okay, so you're a fucking moron. Isn't
that like a Simpsons joke?
But then he's like, I carved the guitar out of stone, and I stole it. I made a business, and now I'm worth $1 billion. And fuck you, suckers.
Did anyone make a speech about Kevin Durant?
No. Then okay.
Did you know terrorism is bad, and so is Kevin Durant?
Here's the thing about when you make an event at 4:00 on a Friday. Friday nights are the Jewish Sabbath. So
am I on the boat now?
Mark.
Austin posted a picture of me on the boat now. Austin, every time you post a picture, I'm going to talk about it.
Jesus. Can you just look at it and keep talking like the rest of us?
No,
we're all clicking on the picture too.
What's going on, Jay? You graduated?
Yeah. Yeah. So then he.
So you're describing your problem with the graduation was it was a little bit late. There were some boring speeches. And it was like every other damn graduation.
And then they made it an hour before the Jewish Sabbath, so they had to end it early.
So did you want it to go on forever? What
you were just complaining it went too long.
Yeah, what were you hoping would be accomplished? Tell me about your perfect graduation. Let's hear about the perfect graduation.
It was because the rest of so then they said, okay, now you have special guest speaker, Chuck Schumer. And he went up there and said, they just told me that time's up. So he ripped his speech up, and he said, congratulations, and he walked off.
Well, I have a question. What does the Sabbath have to do with the fact that it's not like Barclays is Jewish itself?
No, it's the fact that they started it at 4:00.
No, but why do they have to shut down for the Sabbath?
Because like 90% of the faculty at Baruch is Jewish.
Oh, but like they're all like conservative Jewish.
Why were they graduating? Why was all the faculty there? It's your night, not their night.
I don't understand a thing that went on.
Jay, let's take us through your perfect graduation. You run this shit. You got a business degree. You know how to run shit. Let's hear about your perfect graduation. What? So I'm going to guess you have enough seats for the graduates.
I would do that. Yeah.
Okay, it starts at 4. Okay, just tell us more about it.
I would go nuts and say, let's not start this an hour before the Sabbath.
Okay, so 2 hours before the Sabbath.
Yeah, maybe 2. Maybe it will go nuts.
First of all, the Sabbath couldn't have started till like 8:00. Because the sun doesn't go down.
The Sabbath was on a Saturday.
It's like 24 hours. Starts Friday night, goes to Saturday night.
It starts at dusk on a.
Oh, it's like a rave.
Oh, I don't know.
It's like the worst rave ever, where you just sit in the dark and don't eat.
Oh. It's basically an excuse so you don't have to like. I don't know what the point of it. Yeah, I don't know. Like,
imagine a rave without the music or electricity. That's pretty much it, right?
I've talked to people who will work with people that are like that. And they celebrate the Sabbath, and they're like, "Oh, it's great," except for when it happens. It's like Sabbath, and I have to cover for this person's work every week.
Yeah,
which is kind of. But also, a job where you have to work Friday night to Saturday night probably sucks also. But anyway, So basically, you're going to make sure it's not by the Sabbath. What else is going to happen at this graduation? Tell me about your speakers you're having. What are they going to talk about?
Well, I would actually say the graduates' names too.
How many graduates are there?
Well, I would separate undergrad and grad.
Okay, because first of all, they're not going to pay for 2 ceremonies. Secondly, there's so many graduates. No one wants to hear every goddamn name.
I don't want to hear every goddamn name. I want to hear my goddamn
Everyone's
name.
sitting there like, there's 12,000 names. They're like, when are they going to say Jay? When are they going to say Jay? They're going to say, oh, fuck, I missed Jay's name. God damn it.
They said, like, are you a graduate student in the business school? Stand up. And then we stood up, and they're like, congratulations, sit back down. So why the fuck did I even go?
Do they give you? They don't give you a diploma, right?
No,
What
they
they
didn't
should
give
do?
me my diploma. They
Did
didn't
you have
say
to
my
like
name.
raise your hand and make a pledge, like I, your name,
No, there
do
was
solemnly swear?
there was
I
no
got a
interaction.
better idea. You know those cannons they shoot T-shirts out at games?
Do that for
Oh,
the
yeah.
diplomas.
Yeah, diplomas. Just shoot the diplomas out. If you don't get a diploma, you don't graduate.
I mean, knowing Baruch, they'd bring like 7 diplomas.
It's like some kind of Hunger Games for graduation. So what are the speakers you're having? Who's gonna who's gonna speak at your graduation? Your perfect graduation. Is Brian gonna speak?
That would be the warm up. Yeah, that
Brian,
would be
what are you gonna say, Brian?
that would be the depressing speech, the opener.
Yeah, don't turn it into me, kids. Kevin Durant
almost,
sucks. All
I
that
almost
stuff.
own a boat.
I thought I was gonna be something one day.
Listen, I
Yeah.
live among the bears.
I still have a
Like
better
me.
chance of winning a title than Kevin Durant. That kind of a thing.
I have the exact same number of titles as Kevin Durant.
I spent $50,000 at education in Northeastern, and now I live with bears and a broken boat.
Listen, don't be like me. Don't live with the bears. I own a condo, but it's among bears. So Bryce speaks. Everyone, for the people that are still alive that haven't killed themselves, or left
For those that are still there,
who's your special guest? Instead of Chuck Schumer, who you got? Kevin Durant. I'll teach you guys how to not be winners.
I'll get Dave Attell, and he'll just roast everybody.
Who does a Tosh 2.0, whatever? Daniel Tosh does a bit about him doing a graduation speech and talking about how
oh yeah, I know that. Yeah, I've heard that one.
yeah, I can't do it justice. But basically, he's like, who am I talking? He's like, I'm telling these
Yeah.
I don't
3
even
of you are gonna die in DUIs tonight.
This is just statistical facts.
Yeah.
He's like what kind of person has been a piece of shit up to this point and goes, I can be whatever I want to. That's great. I'm gonna go do it. So Jay, what else happened at your graduation? Was that it?
No, then I went to a restaurant that was not too good.
What restaurant you go to? Do you want to wait for the Yelp review, or you want to give us a preview?
Yeah. Are you gonna get another free meal or?
My dad already tore them apart on Yelp.
Which restaurant?
It's
Did you go to McDonald's?
Carnum. It was like a 5-star steakhouse. Carnum?
Where is it?
It's in Brooklyn. It was like rated 5 stars, and
Not by you.
not
Those
by
are
me.
probably ironic stars, Jay. If it's in Brooklyn.
Yeah, exactly.
that's
You have to
true.
go to the 1-star places because that's what the hipsters do. 1
Yeah.
star for really good places, 5-star for the suckers.
Yeah, so it wasn't good. So
They're like, we're a fancy restaurant. What was so bad about it?
I got the lobster risotto, and the lobster was overcooked. And considering that that's basically all that's in it,
That kind of review is not going to get you let's work on your Yelp review. We want a free meal, Jay. Just saying it's overcooked is not going to do it. Tell me how it's an embarrassment to humanity.
well, the thing is, the manager came over, and they're like, "How is the food?" And I'm like, "Well, the lobster's overcooked." And he's like, "Oh, okay. Thanks for the feedback. I'll tell the chef." Like, what manager does that?
He knows what you're doing.
Dear
He's
Yelp,
out of your game.
Dear Yelp, I ate at this Carnum place, and let me just tell you, the week before I went in for LASIK, and after eating their lobster risotto, I needed glasses.
All right, Mark. Should we tell him? Me and Mark called that place before you went there. Told him to give you overcooked lobster roll.
Oh, you guys.
We said you were going to try to angle to get a free meal with a bad review.
And they're like, we'll counter with the overcooked lobster. What did your dad get?
The lobster risotto.
Did your whole family get the lobster risotto?
Me, my dad,
Did you
and my mom.
share one?
No, we got 3 lobster risottos, and they were all overcooked.
Yeah, they probably just said, we've never heard of a table that where 3 people order the lobster risotto. That's a lot of,
Yeah, God forbid they were able to cook 3 dishes that are on their menu.
Did they when you sent it back to get them to uncook it, was there a lot of spit in the food or just a little bit of spit?
We didn't tell them we just told them it was shitty. We didn't tell them to redo it.
Okay, let's sir, you called me over. What's wrong with your food? We have 5 stars.
Jay, were you still wearing your cap and gown during this?
I was. I actually was.
They're like, listen, our 45-year-old son just graduated with a shit degree, and come on, give us better lobster.
Pretty much.
He's going to be working here in a
It's not
week,
so
so
Yeah.
They're like, sir, my son can go back in there with his degree and undercook the lobster. Okay, sir, you called me over to your table. What's the issue?
Did
Sir,
we do this part already? The lobster's still overcooked.
Oh, why are you wearing a tassel on your head?
All right, it's a stupid tradition.
What did you do today? Did you join a band?
What?
I'm asking you what you did. I'm the waiter / host or owner of the
Is
restaurant.
this like a retarded restaurant owner? What is this gown you are wearing? I have never seen this before.
Is he going to a toga party? Okay, fine. So you had this worst day ever, and did anything go right that day?
Nobody died or got sick.
Not in America, but I'm sure a lot of Syrians died. Why don't you ever think about them? Gorillas died in the wild.
that's right. And in zoos.
So the day before, I went to.
Actually, the gorilla probably died the same day, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
The day before, I went to a happy hour, and we realized that the game was coming on, the Warriors Thunder game, and we wanted to see that. So we went to this Irish bar that we usually go to. They show the games. They usually play rock music, and so we go in there. The entire place is filled with black people, and they're playing hip hop music, and it's really shitty hip hop music. So we're like,
and you're scared of black people. Go on.
yeah. So we're like, well, we like this place.
Oh, there goes this bar.
We like this place, but we don't want to listen to this music.
It's not Irish anymore.
So I looked over and I saw that they have one of those electronic jukeboxes, and there's an app for it, so you can control the jukebox from your cell phone.
I don't know if that's a good idea. Go on.
Well, I did that. I stood at the other end of the bar, and then I put on Led Zeppelin. And I got to tell you, the black people that were really into the music were not happy to hear Led Zeppelin come on. The funny part is...
John Mulaney has a bit about that where he played Tom Jones 15 songs in a row at some hick bar.
That's a pretty good bit also.
Yeah.
The funny part is it would play 5 seconds of the hip hop song and then switch to whatever I picked, and I was getting pretty drunk by then, so I'd hysterically laugh every time it switched. It would be the beginning of that Get Low song, and then Dandy Warhols would come on, and I'd start cracking up.
If you play Dandy Warhols in a black bar, that's inciting a riot. You could get arrested for that.
I have to say, having a jukebox you can control from your phone, and people don't know who's doing it, is pretty awful idea.
No, it worked out for me and my friends. But,
No, I think it's a pretty awesome idea.
yeah.
No, it's a pretty awful idea for anyone that wants to have fun that night outside of people actually using the app.
Yeah.
Because they get a lot of fun.
I feel
You
like
have to
most
pay for
people.
that app, probably, right, Jay?
What was that?
You have to pay for that app,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, the app is free, but you have to,
Right, yeah, it's like playing a jukebox, only you don't have to get off your ass.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How much did you pay for each song?
I don't know. It was
It was hilarious. I can't make rent this month.
it was $1 a song, I think.
I guess they got you.
That's what a normal jukebox is.
Yeah, and then you could probably there's a priority thing where you can make your song come on next, right?
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah. For an extra 50 cents, you can bump everything else up.
It used to be $0.25 a song. This is fucking bullshit, this inflation.
Yeah, I know. Although they used to have 5 CDs in the jukebox, and now there's thousands. So
Yeah, now it's all digital and.
I typed in Led Zeppelin, it was 430 songs, which is weird because they only have 130.
Now you could probably play you just sync your phone to it and play something from your phone that you have.
Yeah,
I
bet
typed in
that's
every
next.
obscure song I had in there, and so they basically pretty much have every song you want, basically.
No, they had one Dandy Warhol song still.
I was going to ask you about the Danny Warhols.
They have like 4 million songs, but one Dandy Warhol song.
And they're like, we're thinking about reducing it to 3,999,999 songs. Guess which one's going?
It was the lowest rated song on the jukebox.
Yeah.
Then it got to play, and now it's 5th.
0 plays ever until Jay came to town.
When Jay hits to play this Dandy Warhol song, it's just a self-destruct thing they never thought would go off.
It's basically just the GPS for me because I'm the only one that goes from jukebox to jukebox playing it.
What's going on with our questions? What's going on with... we should probably get to them before the show ends.
Be a good idea.
All right, we could do that.
I figure we can work them in. Do you have more about... Tell us more about your graduation, Jay.
No,
Okay,
no,
great.
We're done. We're done with
There was
that.
I did post on a Facebook question of the day that was, tell me what you think the most underrated show, past or present. And we got 2 replies.
We're
well, I
blowing
got
up.
blown away by the response. Tito Waj, which, Jay, is that your page on...
Yeah, that's the incredible thing of Will and Jay.
Oh, I was trying to figure out what Tito... I clicked on... I looked up that up, and I was like, I saw videos of break, and I knew something was up. And then Steven posted Sons of Anarchy, which I think after I finish Boardwalk Empire, I'm going to watch Sons of Anarchy, Steven. I'm taking your recommendation. Did you guys watch that show?
No.
Well, you're really helpful. What do you think, what do you think the most underrated show ever was?
I've actually been thinking about it all day, and I can't come up with a good answer.
God damn it, Brian. You should at least post it there. I'm thinking about it. Other people should post too. Jay, you got one? You got what obscure show that like has a total audience of 2 do you like?
I mean, yeah, I could pick one of those, but I'm trying to think of like a popular show that should have been more popular than it was.
Right, I would think it would have to...
Well, can we? Are we? I guess like maybe. Do we want to do shows that like just never? They were underrated and they never really became big, or a show that was underrated when it was on and became bigger later on?
No, I think it would have to come and go without like ever getting notoriety.
Well, I actually one show that I say is actually a really good show that I mean it's not like super popular, but Friday Night Lights I thought was a pretty underrated show.
That show was immensely popular though.
I never watched it.
I would go with...
Okay, Friends. Have you guys ever heard of Friends?
I know what Jay's going to go with. I can already predict what Jay's going to go with, but go ahead, Jay.
No, Brian. I want to hear what Jay's going to say.
Do you want me
What?
to go first? Or do you
No,
want Brian
Brian,
to go first?
No, I want Jay to go first.
No, stop it, Brian. Tell us what Jay's going to say.
Jay's going to pick Freaks and Geeks.
No.
Oh, yeah, I would go. Freaks and Geeks was amazing. That was a really great show. That one...
Yeah, but I don't think it's underrated. It won like best comedy and like people praise it.
It was on for 1 season, and that was it.
Yeah.
It got canceled for low ratings.
Yeah. But then
So
it got cult status, and in the awards that year, it won best comedy.
And like it's also a show that like a lot of people have watched now.
I'm gonna go with Working.
Working?
Working was a great show.
That was a sketch comedy show, not sketch. It was a sitcom with Fred Savage, and
Dana Gould was on it.
yeah, Dana Gould. It was, I think it was on the same time as like Spin City or Just Shoot Me. So
Yeah, it was on. Yeah, it was when we were in college, so it was like 96, 7, 8-ish.
it was on the same time as those, and it was a similar sense of humor. It's just everyone watched those other shows, so it got bad ratings.
I'll tell you what show I think is underrated. I didn't watch it a whole lot at the time, but I've watched it since.
What?
Is News Radio.
I mean, that's a funny show, but I don't think it's that great.
I'm trying to think if that's underrated because it was on for a long time, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, just because it was on for a long time, it doesn't. It was one of those shows that was just there. You don't meet anyone and goes, you know what my favorite show is? News Radio.
Right.
Well,
But it
that was on the same time as like the shows Jay was just talking about, because it was like every show was like all stand-up comics doing stuff, and
Yeah.
like they all blended in together. Just Shoot Me and Working and King of Queens and
I'll tell you
Everybody Loves Raymond and all that shit.
Underrated. Well, The Critic was underrated.
Yes.
I'll tell you another show that just the first season of this show was underrated. Do you guys remember the John Larroquette show?
I remember of it.
Yeah,
I
a
never
little
really
bit.
watched it.
The first season was really dark and it was really funny. And then for the second season, they were like, we're going to lighten things up and make it more like like a regular sitcom, and they ruined it. But the first season was really funny.
I think Night Court was underrated. That was a good show.
Yeah, that was a good show too.
What about Kids in the Hall?
I'll go with Titus, but Jay and I are the only two people who know what Titus is.
I know what Titus is, but I didn't watch it. The Kids in the Hall is not underrated. I mean, Kids in the Hall is just like it's a very niche. Like, if there's no way, like, oh, if everyone was really exposed to Kids in the Hall, it would still be that much more popular.
Which makes it underrated.
I think Mr. Show might be underrated.
Yeah, Mr. Show's underrated.
Yeah.
What's with Jay? What obscure show do you want to say?
The Vacant Lot.
Oh God. Does anyone, Brian? Have you heard of that show?
No.
What channel was it on? It was like Public Access J show in my head.
Comedy Central. It was a sketch comedy show. It was starring the brother of one of the guys from Kids in the Hall, Marc McKinney's brother.
Okay.
I don't know. It was only like 6 episodes, and every episode was like the funniest shit ever.
The State. Was that called The State?
Yeah.
I like this. Yeah.
That was a pretty funny show.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Katz.
Yeah.
I never really watched Dr. Katz. In Living Color.
I don't think that's underrated.
I think that's about rated where it is.
Well, I feel like that was like, yeah, I guess like people. Would you say it's one of the greatest, like if not the greatest, sketch show?
top 5, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean,
do a TV show thing.
It got huge ratings until the entire cast left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that last season, it was
Well, it's like the third generation Wayans came in. It was just like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only reason it went off the air. Like, 3/4 of the cast left. It was just that white girl that screamed a lot, and then, like, the third cousin of Marlon Wayans.
Yeah, no, that was it was amazing during that. Like, it's just that you watch, like, SNL, and now you're like, oh, Living Color was really good. Because this is crap. Any other shows?
Freakazoid?
Trying to think of some dramas that are underrated.
What drama is like? Oh, I know. I have one. Let me try to find the name of this. This was actually a really good show that no one watched. It was on for 1 season. Let me look this up for a second. You guys can talk while.
What about the Ben Stiller show?
That was a good show. I have the DVD of that. That was actually really good.
It was weird because I hate Ben Stiller, but the rest of the
cast... I hate except for Bob Odenkirk, I hate all the people on that show, but it was really good.
Yeah. It's like Jeanine Garofalo and Andy Dick. It was a bunch of annoying people, but you know why? Because the writers was like the Mr. Show people.
Yeah.
There
was a show, I don't remember what it was called, but it was Andy Richter.
Controls the Universe?
No, it wasn't that one. It was Andy Richter and the dude from Arrested Development who's also on Veep. What that guy was his name?
The kind of fruit guy, yeah.
And he was like a private detective.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so corny, like total. I think like Andy Richter and Conan like created it, so it had that like corny Conan sense of humor. It was so funny. I think it lasted like half a year, and it was just gone. And there was somebody else on it too. I can't remember who it was, but it was so funny. I loved it. Okay,
I'll give you a drama that was underrated. You guys definitely have not seen this, but everyone should watch this show. It's not amazing, but it was a good show. Daybreak. Did you guys hear of that show?
Yes, I think you told me you were watching it.
Yeah, I probably talked about it on the podcast at some point.
Is that like this kind of like sliding doors type of thing?
It's like a Groundhog Day type thing. It's Taye Diggs plays some like cop who's like been set up, and he keeps going for this day over and over again until he figures it out. It's 1 season, but it was a really good show. And even at the end of the show, you were like, oh, it wasn't like they didn't end it in a cheesy way.
I liked The River a lot. Did you ever see that?
I did not watch that. I remember you saying that was good.
That was
1 season 2, right?
Yeah, it was the Paranormal Activity people. So the whole show was shot like that.
Oh.
And they're going down like the Amazon, and there's some like haunted shit that goes on. I don't know. It was like a whole series like Paranormal Activity, but it was done really well.
Yeah.
Kazim writes, this is our email, thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com. Hey guys, love the show. Marc is still the star of the show.
Yeah.
Jay, 300 plus episodes. I'm sorry, Jay. Hearing Mark's kid stories makes my day, and hearing the struggle of raising kids is comedic gold. I don't know if he knows this, but just thought I'd let him know if he didn't already. Also, on the flip side, I could really do without bullshit Mets talk. Now, if he wants to talk about the Yankees or
The
Giants...
show was called Andy Barker P.I.
Oh, I remember hearing about that. I mean, I remember the name of it. Like, I don't know why Andy Richter didn't have a bigger career.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of sucked for him. He was like, hey, you know what? I'm really funny, too. I'm going to go off and be a star, and Conan's going to back me, and hi, I'm back. I'm back to Conan's sidekick.
He looks so bitter about that, too. Anyway, he says, keep that shit out of the podcast. Also, Bry is definitely the co-MVP of the podcast. His I don't give a fuck attitude on life is something I wish I could do, and the fact that he doesn't give a fuck about what you think is amazing. Keep it up, Bry. Also, Jay, you have to get Overwatch for Xbox One. It's a really fun game to play. I would also like to put a question out there if you don't mind answering, giving me advice. It's kind of complicated, so I'll break it down as easy as I can. My girlfriend is 24, Asian/atheist, and I'm 25 Muslim, but not super extreme, more like
Slow this
conservative.
down. I'm writing this down. So there's a train traveling at 60 miles per hour.
And he's not Asian. I am saying I'm going to marry her, but I would definitely like to introduce her to my family because she's been bugging me to meet them for a while. The problem lies in that my family is super, super religious and prays like 8 times a day type shit. Any ideas how I can tackle this problem? My friends are kind of being assholes about this, and they're like, they want to capture this entire scenario on film if it goes down.
Well, here's just one thing you can do. Make sure you're far enough from your parents where they have to fly somewhere, and then tell the government your parents pray 8 times a day, and that'll get them on the no-fly list. Go on.
Not a super fan like Steven, but you guys are awesome. Keep it up.
Jay, you are in a relationship. What do you do?
I try to get them together as little as possible. And I just try and ignore the fact that there's palpable tension every time they're in the room.
I have to say, as a parent, I don't know what the hell could be wrong with you that you wouldn't, whoever your kid loves, you wouldn't be like, cool, I want them to be happy.
I know.
Unless your son loved a guy, then, I mean, that's a totally different story.
Yeah, so
Oh, I kid.
We're gonna let Bri just like stew in his awkward gay joke.
it's that's a super tricky type of thing. I mean, are they going to be super pissed that she's an atheist? Because that's kind of judgmental. But I feel like super religious people usually are judgmental.
Yeah,
Usually.
I always have found that they're kind of like assholes about their religion. They're kind of. I feel like they also there's a certain amount of like being super religious where you're like, I'm super religious, so I don't have to be an actual good person in real life.
Yeah, when I go over like my aunt and uncle's house, it's always like that. They're like, well, here's how it works. You know, if you need something, you pray, and if it was meant to be, then it'll happen, and it's in God's plan. And if it doesn't happen, it's not in God's plan. I'm like, so you're right no matter what happens, because that's a really convenient way of thinking. Great.
Ooh, God planned for there to be no more Syrians. Good job, God.
Sorry, it wasn't in God's plan for you to live.
Sorry. I guess it was in God's plan for the white cop to shoot you, Mr. Black Guy.
But you know what? While you are getting your prosthetic arm in there, I'll pray for you.
Do you any sense of do you guys know the story of like this? Do you know a lot about the story of Noah's Ark?
Yeah.
You know it well.
Yeah.
So the story, my understanding is the world was filled with so much sin that God decided to slaughter humanity and everyone because he decided mass genocide was the only solution.
Right.
What was going on then that is so much worse than now?
Well, here's also the thing. God said, you guys are all perfect, but I'm going to give you free will to do whatever you want. So then people said, all right, I'm going to go do this thing. And God's like, that thing? No. I didn't mean for you to do that thing. Now I'm going to kill you.
Even from the start, God was playing games. He's like, I'm going to create Adam and Eve, and then I'm going to create a snake to trick Eve, and then I'm going to say, fuck you, Adam and Eve. You fell for my trick.
And then I'm going to damn humanity for all of eternity because of one stupid couple.
Yeah.
And then it's going to turn out I'm not real.
Did you know that Noah, I don't know if you knew this, but Noah built the ark on his 600th birthday?
I did know that. And I would have to say he had to be like no older than 500 to do this shit.
Anyway, back to your question, Kazim. I think you just have to lay it out there with your parents. Say, like, you know, I'm going to marry this girl. She's not Muslim. And
Wait, how old are they?
24 and 25.
Oh, they're not getting married.
True love doesn't happen until age 30.
If they get married, they're going to get divorced.
There you go. You heard it here.
I'm sorry. It's yeah.
Why are they too? They're too young to meet and like be in love.
It won't work out.
Wait, they were 24 and 20. I think I was 26 and my wife was 24 when we met, and we seem to have worked out, Bri.
Yeah, but
It ain't over yet.
you didn't get
true.
married. You didn't get married then either.
That's true too. That would have been a weird first date. Why can't you guys just do this? I have a solution. Why don't you sit your parents down on a couch, whatever, sit your girlfriend / future wife down, put on some Boardwalk Empire, and everyone just
Guys, we're gonna binge watch season 1. By the end of it, you're gonna love each other.
if you guys aren't into each other, if you don't like Boardwalk, I'll find a new girl.
We're after season 1, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna discuss how monkey face woman should be playing the part of the half face guy.
Don't worry. After season 5, we're going to Sons of Anarchy because Steven says it's a good show. We're watching that next. Yeah, just tell your parents you love watching Boardwalk Empire and that everything should be solved. Oh, just tell your parents that you're in love with this girl, and if they don't love her too, then you're gonna bring home something much worse.
Yeah.
Okay, Andrew writes. Congrats.
Brian, how would you solve this? Okay, Jay, you can go on.
Andrew writes, congrats, Jay, on graduating. Thank you. Which New York City borough is best to live in?
Which what?
New York City borough is best to live in.
Okay, well, I think the obvious answer here is the one not named Staten Island.
Yes.
Anything else is probably okay.
I would say not Bronx either.
Probably true, depending on. No, it's
Skin
it's probably
color.
true. Yeah, well, not even, but why? Either way,
So
depending on if you're talking about the present or the past. My family grew up in the Bronx, and back then it was a fine place to live.
okay, but it's not now. So we are down to Queens, Brooklyn, and Manhattan.
Jay, where did your parents grow up?
Bronx.
Okay,
They liked it so much that they moved to Long Island.
Same
They
Bronx. All our parents grew up in the Bronx. Brian, what about you?
Connecticut.
Okay, Bear Country.
Yeah.
Were your parents actual bears?
I wasn't born, so I don't know. They could have been.
Okay. Jay, which I would say the best one to live in if you have money is Manhattan.
Uh,
The best one to live in if you hate yourself is probably Brooklyn.
yeah, I would say either Manhattan or Queens.
I mean, if I gave you $10 million, and you had to pick a borough to live in, why would you live in any other borough besides Manhattan?
Well, if you want like any sort of outdoors area, you're probably not going to live in Manhattan.
You're going hiking in Brooklyn?
It'd be nice that I have a grill and it's been in the courtyard of my building for 5 years because I'm not allowed to grill in it. It would be nice.
I
to
want
have
$10 million so
you-
I could live in a city and own 4 walls and no property.
Right. I mean, it'd be nice.
Rye
to,
also doesn't understand how do you own an apartment? It doesn't make sense.
I own half of a floor of a building. Yay!
Yeah.
Jay, but you also don't live in Manhattan. You live in Queens. So you're making the argument like, why don't you just live in Manhattan with the $10 million? You'd be happier.
I don't know if I would because I would still have no outdoor area.
Where are you going to live in Manhattan? You have to live in New York City. Where are you going to live? You're not gonna live in the Bronx. You're gonna live in Brooklyn.
Probably Queens.
Jay's gonna live in Philly. Isn't that a part of New York?
They annexed it last week.
Be a better borough than Staten Island.
Yeah.
Right. If I gave you $10 million and you had to live in New York City, where would you live?
In the sewer.
Okay. You'll be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Go on.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with the other $9,999,000?
Oh, so I want to tell you one thing. I was
Heroin.
going to the I was at the toy store, and my son wanted Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toys, and I wasn't going to buy them, but then I saw Carmelo advertising for them, and then I said, "This makes it all now. Now I really want to buy the Turtles."
The problem is that movie's gonna tank because Will Arnett's in it, and Will Arnett, even though he's funny, is like the kiss of death.
It got terrible reviews, and I don't understand what's the point of having Carmelo. Like the Turtles, the entire audience that would be interested in the Ninja Turtles is already interested in them without Carmelo. Carmelo doesn't add anything. There's no one that's gonna be like, "Oh, I wasn't into Ninja Turtles, but now I am because of Carmelo."
I
Like
also
Carmelo
don't.
even knows what they are. I mean,
I also don't get the point. We're going to make a live action Turtles, but we're going to have the Turtles and all their enemies computer animated.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh.
So it's basically like everybody except Will Arnett is computer animated.
Well, they should do it like a.
and I'm pretty sure Will Arnett might be computer animated.
They should do it like Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Have like just the Turtles be cartoons and everyone else be real live action. That would be better.
Who's that guy who looks just like Will Arnett, but he's in all the horror movies?
Oh, he was in Fargo.
He's in The Conjuring. He's in.
Patrick Wilson.
I thought.
Patrick Wilson.
Yeah.
He looks exactly like Will Arnett. It bothers me.
He's serious, Will Arnett.
I can't watch any movies with him because I'm just thinking of Will Arnett the whole time.
He's a good actor, though.
I actually saw the preview for The Conjuring and had to look up an IMDb because I was like, why is Will Arnett in that movie? And then
Exactly. He was in that trilogy of other movies. I forget. It was the same thing, though. It was like a ghost in his house. And
they're all the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, we found footage. Or, oh, look what an unexplained thing is happening. Your bed is moving and there's a witch here and blah, blah, blah.
Pretty much.
They're all the exact same movie, basically. But they found a great niche. People keep seeing them, so.
Andrew writes, did anyone stack it on stage at your graduation? I don't know what that means.
Are these the Facebook questions?
Yeah. I don't know what that means. So I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say let's Google that shit.
Jay, with all your spare time, could you start up your public access show with Marc as your co-host? I just saw the intro theme for it. It's so cool.
I can't figure out what stack it means.
I don't know.
Oh, here, the Urban Dictionary. This will do it for me. Go on, Jay. To stack it is to fall over.
Oh, okay. No, nobody fell over. Unfortunately. That would have been something good.
To bring or pile something or a situation on. So what's going on with just stack it?
No, you should have stopped it falling over.
Oh, hang on. So they have other ones on the right side of the page. Other words we can look up or phrases. Stack of fatties. I'm gonna click on stack of fatties, and when you have 3 fat women to fuck at the same time, you need to stack them on top of each other, starting with the heaviest fatty on the bottom, thus giving you ability to reposition between the 3 at will. Hey, and there's a little scene here. Hey, Cameron, where did Eric go? He just left with 3 fat women. I think he's going for a stack of fatties. Oh, hell yeah. Eric is the man.
I would be like, what the fuck's wrong with Eric?
I think everyone would be.
No, I think there's bros that are just like, pussy's pussy. Actually, there are. I know there are because I went to college with a bunch of guys like that.
Stack of fatties. It is pretty funny, though. Not to actually be involved in it, but if your friend did it, you'd be like, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to do the public access show again, but I don't think...
What does this stack of pancakes is in the Urban Dictionary? What could that possibly mean besides an actual stack of pancakes?
Don't go into an Urban Dictionary hole.
I'm doing that right now. More than one slab of fat piled over the waistband of jeans. Joseph, check out that girl. I wish Webster's Dictionary would do this with the sentences.
His role play.
Joseph, check out that girl walking with the crazy muffin tops hanging out of her pants. No, John, there's more than one. That's a stack of pancakes.
Webster's Dictionary would be 7,000 pages if they did that.
And learning would be so much better.
It does help you retain.
Yeah.
Will
you ever forget Stack of Fatties?
No, I will not.
Probably not.
Yeah, okay. Go on.
I will say there are full episodes on the Tito Wadge YouTube page if you like the public access stuff. And if there's an episode missing, let me know and I'll upload it for you. When
Lupe Fiasco is making fun of other rappers in the world today, he is saying that all you need is a catchy line to become famous. Stack that cheese. Something, something, stack that cheese. Mother, sister, cousin, stack that cheese.
What just happened?
I'm just going down the hole. I'm just like reading things on here.
Andrew writes, when did you think How I Met Your Mother jumped the shark?
Why would they have Urban Dictionary?
Mark.
That's weird.
Fucking focus.
I've watched every episode of The Office and How I Met Your Mother, and I have no memory of them.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Those are
I'm done with
those are two of the shows that a couple years ago I decided that I'm not going to watch shows to the very end because it's just a waste of time. And those are the first two shows I quit.
How I Met Your Mother had a terrible ending.
I would say they jumped the shark on that season where they had this. I think it was either 6 or 7, where they had the summer of breakups. And
it jumped the shark earlier than that.
every episode was just something depressing.
It probably was only really good for the first 4 seasons. Say,
I might even go 5, but yeah, it was summer of breakup season 6.
I don't know. What was the other show?
I brought up The
Oh,
Office.
I just said The Office. That I watched all of it, and I can't remember any of it. It's like it's been deleted from my brain.
But that's like a news. I think news radio. Any show that's like kind of funny when you watch it, but doesn't really stand out in your mind is a news.
I
Radio.
hated The Office when I watched it. I watched it. I don't know why I did.
Oh,
Yeah, that show I liked for like maybe the first 4 seasons, but I watched I think through season 6, and then I realized I only liked the pre opening credits like gag.
oh.
So I watched season 7 just the first 2 minutes of each episode, and then those stopped being funny. So then I just totally stopped watching.
I thought season 1 and 2 of The Office were actually really like quality. They were actually really fun. It was actually a really funny show. Then it kind of just went downhill.
Andrew writes, have you seen the TV show The It Crowd? Is that Ricky Gervais?
No, wasn't it about computers?
Oh, yeah,
Like
you're right.
IT crowd.
Yeah.
I've never seen it, but
I've never seen that.
Oh, so in other words, it's not the It Crowd. It had 7 seasons, and it gets like a 8.6 on what channel what show was this on? I mean, channel was this on?
I was just going to ask you that.
I'm on the comedic adventures of a ragtag group of technical support workers at a large corporation.
Steven writes, watching Jay play Lords of the Fallen was one of the most difficult and trying things I've ever experienced. He is so bad at video games. Mark, please ask him why he even bothers. So today, I tried out.
It was a British show. That was the issue. It was on British Channel 4.
Gotcha.
Okay. You played a game so people could watch?
Yeah, you know that thing Twitch that people were asking us about?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I started a Twitch channel, and I was playing a game Steven suggested before we did the podcast today.
So the faculty of Baruch must be really honored to have you as a graduate. Let's see, we gave him his degree, and now he's playing video games online for friends. Why are you so bad at video games, Jay? You play a lot of them, right?
I am bad at that video game because it's ridiculous.
Have you ever thought about getting into the world of the industry of editing video games?
I mean,
Too
I don't
soon.
know. I'm pretty good at video games. I could not get past the first guy in that game. It was ridiculous. I tried for like a half hour.
Would you have been pissed if the valedictorian speaker at your graduation was like a video editor?
I would have been more pissed if he was telling me about all his accomplishments, and then he's like, "Yeah, and I just do video editing in my spare time at night."
Yeah, like I kind of
just a passion of mine.
I picked it up on a whim, and like I don't know, I'm editing the latest Marvel movie.
Yeah,
It seems like anybody could do it. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, I mean, like I guess you could intern to begin with, but like the first job I got paid a lot of money. Go on, Jay. Why are you so bad at this video game? Like, why are you at least if you're gonna do your first? Was this your first performance on Twitch, or have you performed
that was my
before?
first performance on Twitch. I started playing a different game, and Steven immediately logged on and bugged me to play this game, probably just to embarrass me.
How did Steven even know you were on there?
I told him that I was going on Twitch.
I mean, where did you post this? I didn't see this posting.
It was a Facebook message.
Well, thanks for letting me know. If I had known, I wouldn't have watched, but I would have. Why don't you just Twitch like Super Mario?
Well, I can only Twitch on Xbox, and they don't have Mario games for Xbox.
Well, it's some bullshit. You should wait till they have Mario games for that system.
I'll get on that.
Brian, would you ever Twitch? Would you ever play a game so other people could watch you, or watch a game on Twitch?
No.
Is it called twitching?
I have no idea what it's called.
Okay, so you were twerking earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, apparently our listeners think you suck at video games. What are you going to do about that, Jay?
I'm not going to play Lords of the Fallen.
What's so bad about this game?
It's insanely hard, and I feel like the buttons are in weird places. Like normally, like you would push like the A button to attack, but it's not like that. So like I'm pushing what I think it should be, and he's just rolling around on the ground or like doing stupid shit.
It'd be great if like like the little thing of like right, left, up, down.
Mm-hmm.
If it was right, left, up, and character die.
That's pretty much what it was when I was playing.
Okay.
I said I wasn't playing Lords of the Fallen, and Steven left the chat room. He's really upset.
Messed up, man. You got to trust the process.
Okay, I think we're done, right?
Oh, that's all the questions we have on Brink?
Yeah, that's it.
You're not reading any of Steven's questions?
Every single question is literally Lords of the Fallen, greater than symbol, and then he's just listing all the games I play. Batman, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Unraveled, Sunset Overdrive.
Wait, hang on.
Well, is there more questions that got posted after I loaded up the page?
You know what's so? Stephen Pote writes questions and takes. Not that I needed them. Like he wrote 30 questions about me on here and then took them off.
Mm-hmm. Well, I did say they were getting old.
I mean, they were getting old. Stephen told me he was having. Stephen sent me a message earlier. Not to talk too much about our one listener, but here's the message I get from Stephen earlier. Let me pull this up real quick. God damn it, hang on. He goes, the first message, are you actually going this is part of his question from earlier. He's like, are you actually going to tell me your wife's bra size on Brink today? Totally sound question. Thanks for thinking of that one. Then he goes, also, this is unrelated, but your kids are cute and not in a Jared Fogle way. Thanks, Stephen. And then he said, he's literally out of steam when it comes to questions. I've been struggling to come up with them for like 2 months.
Well, sorry.
Also, we got an email you didn't read. Do you want to read that email we got from the Knicks page? Or talk about that email?
The guy who's dying of cancer and wants us to show him how to play basketball?
It's so we got this question like that. I don't know what it is, but he wants to work for the Knicks as a motivational something or other. He's dying, and he says he can talk about motivating because he overcame cancer, but he probably has like 7 years to live. And I don't know what to do with
That's
the
not
email.
dying.
Well, I guess we're all dying. We all have a certain amount of time to live. He just knows he has a better sense of when he's going to die.
But he
You think
thinks
you
we're
guys
like,
work for the Knicks or something?
yeah, he thinks we like are the Knicks.
And I don't know if like this should like put him over. Like if we don't respond, is he gonna be like, oh, now there's nothing to live for? Like, should we like forward his information to like or just reply back, "Hey, we're actually not the Knicks, dude. You might want to try."
We're not the Knicks, and we're not Make-A-Wish.
Yeah, I mean, we should definitely respond, I guess.
How are you gonna respond?
Sure, put it all in my hands.
Tell him to call Kevin Durant.
I'm just gonna tell him we're not the official Knicks organization, and you definitely don't want any.
Thing to do with us.
Yeah, pretty much. You don't want anything to do with us.
Dear dying,
unless you want to do with that other guy from the radio station. He said he wanted to. This radio station emailed us, and they're like, "Yeah, we want to interview Jose Calderon, live on the air." And then Mark writes back like, "Yeah, sure. How's tomorrow sound?" Like, it's actually a real radio station. What were you gonna do? Just go on there and say the two words you know in Spanish?
Let's start the interview. I'll be Jose Calderon. I'll do my perfect impression.
Hey, this is Bill from WKRK in Spain. We're here with Jose Calderon.
WKRK in Spain. Let's assume you're speaking Spanish. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Wouldn't that have been amazing if that's all I said? The entire interview until I hang up is ¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
You just say it differently every time they ask you something.
Omelette tu fromage.
¿Dónde está la biblioteca? It would have been amazing. And who gives a shit about radio stations in not our country? And if it's a radio station in our country, it would be even better.
So does that mean you're gonna set up a meetup with this cancer patient to talk to him about basketball and motivate him?
Here's what I'm going to write back. Dear cancer patient, we like your idea. It sounds wonderful, but we need an 8-year commitment. Sorry.
You got to sign a max contract to 8 years.
Sorry, you seem like you can't commit to the whole life of the contract. We can't deal with that. I am not going to reply. I'm just going to feel bad for not replying.
He left his phone number. You want to just call him and prank him?
Yes, call him right now. He wasn't in the U.S., right? The English was terrible.
Yes, he's writing from Italy. He wants to come to our reality basketball.
Why don't you write to him that if he sends us spaghetti, we will let him come here. If you can mail some spaghetti to us. Anyway, I feel bad for that guy. That kind of sucks. And we're probably going to disappoint him by not replying.
Yeah, I mean, I'll write him back. I'll tell him, send us some authentic Italian pasta sauce, and we'll send him unlimited breadsticks.
Dear Super Mario, we're sorry. We're sorry, but eat as much macaroni as you want. And Parmesan. Bye. What else? Is there anything else to talk about? Or are we going to what we learned today?
Steven's back. He told me he's going to have to murder our
Marc,
other super
please
fan.
prank him. What do you want me to prank him with, Steven?
Not me, the guy.
Oh, well, I don't think Jay has... can you call it internationally?
I literally have 99 cents left in my Skype, so I don't think that'll be a very long phone call.
Apparently, God does not want us to call him.
It's also 5 in Italy.
It's also pretty much the worst thing you can do is to prank a cancer patient who's confused about whether you work for the Knicks.
Anyway,
we've gotten. It seems like foreigners, generally get confused about whether we work for the Knicks. We've gotten like at least a dozen emails over the years of people thinking that we work for the Knicks.
I think we should switch the name of the show to The Brink of Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Superfan Austin's buying another Brink shirt, a second Brink shirt.
Wow.
Yeah.
He is a super fan.
Steven,
step the hell up.
I think that puts him on the Mount Rushmore of Brink superfans.
Plus, Steven is adding things to the show by adding a wonderful Boardwalk Empire picture with me in it. I like that, Steven. I mean, Austin.
Yeah, Austin's adding Photoshops.
Yeah, Steven, step it up. What are you going to add, Steven? You're adding questions that don't even stand. You're not even adding any good questions. Come on.
He told me he's going to kill our other super fan because apparently super fans are like Highlander. They can only be one.
Oh, if you're not in Canada, Steven can't get you. Well, Steven, we're only allowed one super fan per country,
There you go.
which seems to be about our downloads.
Yeah.
Although I think Andrew and Austin are both in the same country, so that might be a problem.
Oh, sorry, Andrew.
Anyway. He just said, give me a shirt or I'll quit the show. They're $8 goddamn dollars.
Is this weird? So we were hiring someone at work, and my boss, he'll never listen to this, so he's hiring someone. The person that mentioned they're getting married this summer, and my boss responded something along the lines of, "Is it a man or a woman you're getting married to?"
Huh?
The person said they're getting married, and my boss asked
they
them,
can ask.
they were like, "Oh, like, are you getting married?" Just made some comment like, "Oh, is it a man or a woman you're getting married to?"
Why don't you just say congrats and walk away?
Yeah.
I was just like, that's like, I guess it was just like an awkward moment. The person was like, "No, I'm marrying a man." It was like a woman. She's like, "I'm marrying a man." Like she's like, "I'm not." He's like, "Oh, nothing. I mean, like, we don't discriminate here."
Well, apparently we do.
He was just being like very like PC, but like in a Jake won't sell me a shirt. Come on, Steven. Come on, Steven. You know Jay would sell anyone a shirt.
Yeah.
Come on. The ISIS could be outfitted in brink shirts if they would put the money up.
Mark's not buying that shit.
Yeah, come on, Steven.
They're only $8.
It's $8 with shipping.
Yeah. Although it'll be like a couple extra dollars to go to Canada, but still.
You could ship a shirt for $8. You make anything off the shirt?
No.
Okay.
I am at the point where I just want them out of my apartment.
You might want to rethink. Now that you have a business school degree, you might want to operate like not a shitty business with this.
Right. It's called cutting losses.
Oh, Jay, one more thing before we go. What's going on with your downstairs neighbor?
Well, apparently he got a new stereo that vibrates my floor.
Oh, good for him. I'm glad he's doing better now.
That was my one quiet neighbor for 4.5 years, which kind of motivated my decision to move in 2 months, because now it's like literally noise from every single direction. So yeah, I actually had to go down there at 4 a.m. the other week. And
Okay. Knock, knock. Hey, why are you knocking on my door at 4 a.m.?
my floor is vibrating.
Yeah, how's that my problem?
You're kind of making that happen.
Yeah, so I am trying to listen to some light music at night. Could you leave me alone? I mean, who knocks on someone's door at 4 a.m?
You know what? Actually, there was it was like going on until 1:30 on like a Monday night, like last week, and so Tuesday I came home from work and I went right down there and I knocked on his door, and he opens the door and he goes, "Too loud?" And I was like, "Yep." and he's like, "Oh, okay," and I'm like, "Not now, like." I don't care if it's loud now, because he thought I meant like that moment. It was like 5:30. I'm like, no, like, like 11 at night. If you could like stop vibrating my floor, that would be amazing. He's like, no problem. And it's been much better since.
I have an idea for you though.
Mm-hmm.
You always have back issues, right? Why don't you lie on the floor at 4 a.m. and maybe the massage will help?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Could you please turn it up? I am not done getting my massage.
No, I was banging on the floor for you to make it louder, not quieter.
That'd be great if you went down there and asked him to turn it up.
Anyway, yeah. So I'm moving in 2 months. So there's like 5 Brink shirts left. Buy them. brinkofsanityshow.com. I don't want to move more Brink shirts to yet another apartment.
Yeah, it must be really hard to carry 5 shirts to a new place.
Well, there's also like 20 Nick's podcast shirts. And fuck you. I need to pay for that.
I am very excited, very unexcited for you, but excited to hear about on the show your apartment search.
It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be. I feel bad for you, but it'll be a joy to the show.
Yeah.
Okay. What did we learn today, Brian?
That Jay's graduation sucked.
That is true.
That is true.
We learned that...
And for some reason, he was surprised that it sucked.
Like, I don't need... What did you expect to happen at your graduation?
Well, I'd expect it to be run by people who've actually done a graduation before. I mean, it would have been nice to get a picture. It would have been nice if Mark stopped texting and focused on the show, considering we have a minute left.
Steven says that I don't let Bri talk. Bri, do you feel like undervalued on the show?
I know my place.
I thought we're wrapping things up. I can look at my phone.
I think one episode, Bri, I want you to be the alpha dog.
Okay.
Just carry the show.
Could you say okay in a little more timid way?
Yes.
All right. Okay.
That's the gumption I like. Did you learn anything, Mark, other than the fact that you still can't multitask?
I learned that I cannot multitask, and it's driving Jay crazy.
Really is.
I learned also that I should have been a character on Boardwalk Empire.
Mark,
I seem to fit in well in that.
Mark,
poster.
you were a train wreck today.
Yeah, it worked, though. It's fine.
Okay. Thank you for listening, everybody. We'll be back soon. I think in August I'm going to get my tonsils taken out. So
should we all get ice cream with you?
Yeah, so I might have to miss a week because I literally won't be able to talk.
How do you, what's going on that you knew you had, like your throat hurts or what?
No, but they're gigantic, and I think it's contributing to my apnea. So...
the doctor said this, or you're just like going on a hunch?
Yeah, no, the doctor said this.
You know, Doc, I still have my tonsils. Maybe they should be removed. Where did you get this from? I don't know. I thought of stuff. I just think of stuff. I Googled stuff. Okay, whatever. That's annoying to have to do that.
Yeah. Although the two things that contribute to apnea are, big tonsils and being overweight, and not being able to eat anything other than water for 4 or 5 days should probably kill the weight problem as well.
Yeah, there you go.
I guess Mark got a message because he completely stopped talking again.
Whatever. Steven wanted Bri to talk. Bri could fill in when I'm not talking.
The problem is Bri doesn't know. I don't know if Bri's looking at the live. Oh, there's a 45-second delay, so Bri doesn't know you're...
He could just hear me not talking and interact at that point. He doesn't need to look and go, oh, Mark's doing something else. He could just say, Mark's not talking. I can fill in right now.
Bri shouldn't have to pay attention to whether you're paying attention.
Why don't you just talk?
I'm never paying attention. That's why I never talk.
I think the problem is none of us are paying attention, and it just
once
derails.
the show gets past 12 minutes, I can't pay attention to the whole thing, everything going on.
I'm just staring at the clock, saying,
"It's
okay,
11 o'clock already, Jay.
If I fall asleep in 5 minutes, then I will get 10 hours, 2 minutes of sleep." Yeah.
Jay, the show's over. I wasn't paying attention. I did a bad job. I will be in detention for next episode, and your tonsils are coming out, and you'll eat some mint chocolate ice cream, and there you go.
I joined 2 sports leagues too.
What kind of ice cream will you eat?
I am going to probably eat... Well, it has to be plain. I can't really have anything in it. It's going to have to be like plain vanilla.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Because I'm going to have gaping wounds. I'm not going to be able to chew... Anything rough is going to damage it. So I can't have cookies and cream or something. It's going to have to be a plain flavor.
Jay, this is just your year, isn't it?
Jay, you ruin everything? All these kids are like, I have all this ice cream. I have to have vanilla. It blows. I have to have plain yogurt flavored ice cream.
I just hear the Debbie Downer music every time Jay talks now.
Did you know that
I had ice cream when it was plain.
I had my eyes are messed up. I can't sleep. The doctor said I have to cut off my left arm for no reason.
I graduated with a business degree, but no one took my picture.
You know what? Chuck Schumer didn't tell me I could be all I could be, and that sucks. Fuck you, Chuck Schumer.
I don't know.
I finally had lobster, and it was overcooked.
I want my lobster to be perfect. We all a dozen of us ordered lobster.
I don't know when this turned into the brink of roast Jay every episode.
When we get tired, that's what we do.
We do that a lot. Every time Brian's on, we just combine to make fun of Jay.
Can't we find like a fourth person that sucks even more than I do, so we can make fun of him?
Jay, trust the process, Jay. Trust the process.
Yeah, get that cancer guy on.
Yeah, why don't we call the cancer guy and rip on him? Because he's definitely not going to fight back as hard. Oh, I have cancer. I've overcome cancer. Why don't you overcome being annoying?
You're boring everybody. Why are you so
why
boring?
you overcome not be able to use punctuation in your email? Jay, what else did you learn this episode that we just end every episode making fun of things you said that episode?
I was just reading Steven's messages.
Oh,
Jay, pay attention. Can't you
Yeah,
do things at once?
Jay, what kind of multitasking shit are you doing, Jay?
He wrote, "You look skinnier." I wrote, "Thanks." He wrote, "Your face is still really fat, though."
He's a lovely person to interact with, Steven. Really helps you feel better about yourself.
That was yeah.
I don't know why I confirmed his request from Facebook this week. I have no idea why I did that.
Ouch, my self-esteem.
Okay, anything else we learned today, or should we wrap this up?
No, I mean, are you guys done, or any other parts of my personal life you want to make fun of?
Well, to be continue it.
Jay, it's been a week. What are you doing with your degree?
I got a handshake today, which is I think all I'm going to get from this degree.
How is the same job for the same salary after you got your degree, Jay?
It's going to be even better when the extra $350 a month in student loans kick in soon.
I thought your job was covering this.
Yes, but I've been taking that money and paying off my credit card bills.
I've been participating in my own pyramid scheme.
Well, I mean, the credit card bills were like 15%, and the student loan is 6%, so it makes sense.
I'm my own Ponzi scheme. So the actual payments got put off. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. You're just paying off. That's annoying though.
And now I'm getting my last $4,000 next week, and I get to spend that on a move.
Why is it going to cost you $4,000 to move?
You have to get first month security and either
But
last month or realtor fee. It's going to be like $5,400.
Do you have to? Can you avoid a realtor fee?
Maybe, but then that place is probably going to want last month. I'm
Yeah.
going to have to fork up like 3 months worth of rent, like no matter what.
You could just stay where you are and live with the black mold.
That's true. I mean, I probably won't have to pay for cancer treatment for another like 5 to 10 years. So
Yeah, if you and eventually you could like write about. You could go on your own reality Nick show.
or I could email that guy back and be like, "Hey, guess what? We're cancer buddies now."
That's right.
Jay, actually, we have a caller that's calling in before the show ends.
Okay.
Hello, this is Black Mold. Jay, why are you leaving me?
Don't worry, I'm sure you'll be in my new apartment too.
Oh, Jay, I'll never leave your life. I have to follow you everywhere you go.
Why do you always hide under the paint?
Oh, me and Led like to hang out with you.
Can you bring your friend Asbestos to the next apartment too?
Of course. And we have a new friend that hasn't even been, been no lawsuits about yet. We don't even know what it's called yet, but it'll probably kill you.
Sweet.
It causes rectal cancer. I hope that one feels good.
All right, we'll have a housewarming party in 2 months.
Don't leave me, Jay. Don't leave. You can stay, Jay. I promise. I promise that if you stay, I will try to get bigger and go out through the entire. I'll grow, and it'll be soon. The entire bathroom will be black mold.
Sweet. Okay. All right, we're done now, right?
Yeah, I think so.
All
Yeah,
right.
that was true 10 minutes ago.
On that note, goodbye, everybody.
The organic ending, Jay?
Bye, love. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye. You better go away. I'm gonna leave you. It's the end. Goodbye. Goodbye. Just leave me alone. Feels so good to say goodbye. I'm sick and tired and I'm saying goodbye. Goodbye, girl. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Everybody.
All right.
Jay, Steven had actually a good joke that was a second too late. He goes, don't worry, I live inside your lungs now. That was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
He says I should be your impersonations writer. I agree, Steven.
We need a staff of writers.
Steven, you could be our first. You could be a first staff writer. You could be head writer if you want.
Pays the same.
That is true.